The Bethesda press conference just ended, and I've been a little critical of Bethesda before in the past. Sometimes I feel the bugs really interact with the games that they release. Games like Fallout, these open world games, it could be a bit problematic. So I honestly went in with my expectations low for Bethesda's press conference, but honestly, I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw. So I decided to talk about the good and the bad from Bethesda's E3 press conference. We'll give them a grade. So let's see what Bethesda had to offer this year at E3 2017. So let's kick things off with the good things about Bethesda's E3 press conference. And the first thing that pops into my mind has to be The Evil Within 2. The Evil Within was honestly one of the best survival horror games that I've played lately. It was definitely had an emphasis on action, but I love the original game. So to see The Evil Within 2 be announced, be showcased at this presentation was really cool for me. I really enjoyed what I saw. I thought the game looked phenomenal, and the fact that it's coming out this year, this October, the 13th, is pretty special. So I'm really looking forward to seeing and playing The Evil Within 2. A phenomenal game. I'm glad that it got a sequel because it's a really underrated survival horror game in my opinion. Obviously, if you read the title of this video, another thing I was very excited to see was, Skyrim on the Switch. A lot of people were concerned about this game. One of the things that I've been saying for a long time is that there needs to be something special in this version of Skyrim. You can't just make it portable and expect it to sell, and it looks like Bethesda and Nintendo have worked out something because Link was the focal point of the Skyrim presentation for the Nintendo Switch. There's going to be amiibo support, and I've actually come to find out you can use other amiibo besides Link, but Link was the one that was shown off. He had the Breath of the Wild gear on with the, Master Sword in hand. It looked really cool. It was really awesome to see that in the game, and I think the motion controls looked okay as well. Obviously I'm not a huge motion control guy, but it is something I'll check out. So Skyrim, it's definitely on my radar now for the Nintendo Switch because of the inclusion of Nintendo properties into this version of it. Definitely a smart decision by both Bethesda and Nintendo. The final thing I was really excited about was obviously Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein is a fantastic franchise, and this version of Wolfenstein looks really damn good. It looks pretty story heavy, which I'm not really, super used to in my Wolfenstein games. Admittedly, I have not played one since the 360, but I am looking forward to this game. It looks really nice. It looks highly polished. The environments looked really nice. The enemy details looked good. So definitely a game that's on my radar. And finally, the big thing that I really liked about Bethesda's press conference was everything they showed was being released this year, 2017. That's really cool in my opinion. Not enough companies do that. A lot of companies, they show you games that are 2-3 years down the road. I like to see games that I'll be able to play this year or in the, future, in the short-term future. So it was good to see all of that. As far as the bad is concerned, I didn't like all of the emphasis on the Elder Scrolls card game. I thought that was a bit unnecessary. It's a mobile card game. I don't really have a need for those. This is E3 about video games. I understand that mobile games are video games, just not really of interest to me. And some of the DLC stuff that they showed, once again, no big deal. I don't really care about that. And the sort of mediocre things was the Doom and the Fallout VR. I think those are great for VR owners. It's just I'm not a VR owner, and I don't think that that's going to convince me to get into the world of VR. The Doom one looked a little bit interesting. It looked like with the left hand you controlled where your character would move based on sort of a trajectory. And Fallout looked really cool, but once again, I'm not a big VR guy. That's not going to convince me to get VR. So I'm mixed on it, but for VR owners, that's awesome. So at the end of the day, like I said, pleasantly surprised with Bethesda's press conference. I thought it was really well done. It started off pretty slow, but once they got into the game announcements and showcasing some of these games, there was a lot of good stuff. So if I have to grade Bethesda's press conference, I'm going to give them a solid B. Definitely loved that all the titles shown were 2017 releases, The Evil Within 2, Nintendo stuff in Skyrim for Switch, and Wolfenstein really won me over. So let me know what you thought about Bethesda's press conference in the comments section down below. Tomorrow will be a little bit more difficult for me to do my Sony things. It'll probably probably be later on in the day, you know, early evening, because I do have work. So be on the lookout for that. If you've been enjoying these E3 recaps, make sure you let me know in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that like button. I will catch you guys next time. Later.
RGT NA5! RGT NA5! RGT NA5!